Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories. Add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello, welcome back. Skyrim Addict podcast, episode 111. It's going to be a short little holiday week episode. I have some holiday stuff at the end here. I actually have been playing a ton of my roundtable character. Recently, I have moved another child to Vindrel Hall. I have built, the Lakeview house from Hearthfire next to Pine Watch. I built that house completely. I have a few things left to put in there, some trophies and such. I have Lydia living out there. She's my house Carl out there. I picked up another house Carl from, I believe, Falkreath. So I have him floating around. He was following me. Or no. I'm sorry, from Morthal, High Moon Hall. So he's back over that way. I just sent him back. I don't really like having followers too much. And stuff like that. So that's basically what I have going on in game. We're going to get into it a little more next week. I believe next Sunday, the 1st, is going to be the Fallout Skyrim Roundtable feedback episode. So if you have feedback for the Roundtable, for those second set of quests, please send it in by then. Or if you have general feedback, also be answering that, of course. It'll be see who is able to be on that day. So figuring that for January 1st, New Year's Day. After that, we should be having a roundtable again soon. And we're getting back into the normal roll of things. If it's your first time listening, if you happen to get Skyrim for the holidays here, and you're listening first time, we usually talk a lot more Skyrim. But again, holiday week, short episode here. We have a couple new shows to check out. Damn That Television with Matt and John. You can check that out. All the links, of course, are on ASAPodcasting.com. And Victor and Kyle started a modding show. ASA Mod Talk. Not on iTunes yet, but you can find the RSS feed and all that at ASAPodcasting.com. Or the best way to find, another good way to find stuff is if you're on Twitter, follow a Skyrim Addict at a Skyrim Addict. I always post for the most part, I post when every show is up and links and iTunes links and all that stuff. So make sure you follow that, and that's where the most up-to-date stuff will be. Other than that, it's been a fun year with the re-release and all, so thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully the next 12 months will also be awesome. And I'm gonna play some more Skyrim. I got my Skier. He's up to a level 50 now. I've maxed out my smithing. Now I'm loading up more smithing stuff. Once I do my special, get all my dragon gear, my dragon scale gear ready, I'm gonna go legendary on both in smithing and enchanting. Because I'm just about to go to 100 in enchanting. I think I'm at like 98. And with Ordinator, you can do one item that has 3 enchantments on it. So what I'm going to do is I have my dragon scale gear. I'm going to smith it up as best I can. I'm going to get 3 enchantments on one of the items. I haven't decided yet which that is. Plus, I'm also in the middle of the Lost City Ages quest with the Ethereum Crown, where you can have 2 stones. So I'm going to do that as well. Saving a lot of flawless gems so I can... there's a perk in Ordinator for that as well, for your enchanting. So I'll be probably going through the rest of the main quest on Legendary. Right now I've bumped it up. I think I'm just below Legendary. I'll probably just bump it up to Legendary because getting a little OP, using a lot of flames, a lot of archery, and a lot of one-handed. I've slid back on one-handed a little bit recently, and I need to get back more into that. I've noticed it's become a little tougher for me. So now that I have my better gear, I'm using Bosmer blades, so I might do double dragonbone swords. So I'll be dragging those around with a dragonbone bow and just blasting fools all over the hillside. But at flames, I'm just burning people down. So I'm a Khajiit, and you come across those bandits that destroy the and kill all the Khajiit caravan people. I toasted like 2 of those in the past week. Just even after they were dead, I was just setting them on fire on the ground because of, retribution for my Khajiit brethren. But I've noticed with SE, I've been getting a lot of assassins coming after me, like a whole ton of assassins. Everywhere I go, I feel like there's an assassin or a thief running up to me to try and kill me or steal my crap. It's a lot more than I ever remember, but a lot less dragons. And I did have a glitch where Alduin showed up at a dragon mount and or dragon mound, and the dragon never came out. It was weird. The light kept going. It glitched out. But all right, thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for a little Skyrim holiday themed quick content here from Andrew and I. And well, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you want to join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Skyrimaddictpodcast. Obviously on Twitter, as I said, @Skyrim Addict. And if you have a moment, leave an iTunes review. And before I sneeze, I'm going to say goodbye and Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all that stuff. All right, later, everyone. 'Twas the night before Saturnalia, when all through Breeze home, not a creature was stirring, not even Nepos, the nose. The foot wraps were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Sanguine soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of snowberries danced in their heads. And Mama in her cowl, and I in Cicero's hat, had just settled our brains for a long evening star nap, when out in the yard there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. Secunda on the breast of the new fallen snow gave luster of midday to skeevers below, when what to my wondering eyes then appears but a miniature wagon, and 8 tiny creatures. With a debaucherous creature so cagey and libertine, I knew in a moment it must be Sanguine. More rapid than wisps, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Barbas, now Gleda, now Miko and Pincer, on Arvak, on Stump, on Biter and Bran, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the wagon full of boiled cream treats and Sanguine too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little foot. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney Sanguine came with a bound. He was dressed all in Daedric, from his head to his foot, and his armor was tarnished with ashes and soot. A bag of Alto wines was flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his sack. His eyes, how they pierced, his horns curled high, his fingers like daggers, his skin red as blood pie, his greaves still dripping with the blood of a cow, and the sight of his grin was sly and devious now. The leg of a goat held tight in his mouth, and the smell of a feast just wafted about. He had a stern face but cracked a sly smile. The ground shook when he laughed like a treat full of cream. His armor was jagged and black, quite unlike that of an elf, and he laughed when he saw me in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the foot wraps, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprung to his wagon, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, as he drove out of sight, Happy Saturnalia to all, and to all a debaucherous night.
On the 12th day of evening, Star Lydia gave to me 12 dragons devouring, 11 ice wraiths freezing, 10 frost trolls jumping, 9 followers following, 8 horkers flopping, 7 vampires cursing, 6 forsworn begging, 5 enchanted flawless diamond gold rings, 4 singing bards, 3 chickens, 2 barking dogs, and a moth priest at the Evergleam.
Thanks for listening to this episode of A Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable Open and Close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.